Hi, my name is Jenna Whitman, Chair of the Oakland Public Ethics Commission. You are about to watch an important video that introduces and describes the Government Ethics Act here in Oakland. Ethics laws can be a bit confusing, especially when dealing with gifts and conflicts of interest. Please watch carefully and remember that you can always call the Public Ethics Commission any questions or concerns that you might have. Together, we can build public trust in Oakland. Thank you for watching.
Hello, I'm Dana King, a Public Ethics Commissioner for the City of Oakland. Elected officials and public employees are expected to operate with a high level of integrity, and the Government Ethics Act is a great tool to help us build upon and maintain that trust. A common misperception is that ethics laws only apply to elected officials, but they actually apply to all city employees as well. The term we use here is public servant, which includes all full and part-time city government employees, board and commission members, and elected officials and appointed officials, as well as consultants who file a Form 700. Except where noted, the following rules apply to all public servants. Public servants receive gifts from time to time, and it's important to know the restrictions and reporting requirements. First, a person or organization that is influencing or doing business with the public servant's department may not give any gift of more than $50 in value in a calendar year to a public servant in that department. In addition, some public servants are required to file a Form 700 and must report all gifts with a fair market value of $50 or more on that Form 700. These Form 700 filers are also not allowed to accept gifts of more than $250 per calendar year from a single source. Be careful when accepting tickets to events or thank you baskets that might exceed that $50 threshold, as you may need to report the gift or decline it entirely. If you're required to file a Form 700, you may want to review the form to be sure that you're tracking and properly reporting gifts. Occasionally, a public servant may have a personal financial interest or investment that could cause a conflict of interest. It's important to recognize and manage these conflicts in order to avoid violating the law. The law surrounding financial conflicts of interests is complex, so the following summary is only intended to provide the general rule and help you spot potential issues that may arise in your work. If you believe you have a financial conflict of interest, you should contact the Public Ethics Commission directly for advice and assistance. No public servant is allowed to make, participate in making, or attempt to influence a governmental decision if it is reasonably foreseeable that that decision could have a financial effect on his or her financial interests. When a conflict of interest exists, a public servant is expected to abstain from the decision, discussion, or vote. In rare cases, a conflict could even nullify the contract, impose criminal penalties, and require disqualification from holding office. Again, if you think you have a possible conflict of interest, call the Public Ethics Commission for advice before taking action. Oakland public servants are entrusted by the public to use city time, property, and money efficiently and in a legal and ethically responsible manner. The next segment will provide you with measures to ensure that your position is properly used for the public's benefit. As stewards of the city, public servants may not use public resources for personal enjoyment, campaign purposes, or private gain. When we use the term public resources, we don't just mean city money. Public resources also include things like staff time, city land and buildings, office equipment, computers, vehicles, phones, and supplies. To use public resources means to cause a gain or advantage for the user and a loss to the city. For example, a misuse of city resources occurs when a public servant uses city copiers, city-paid advertising, or city-derived email lists to distribute a candidate's campaign flyer. And while we're on the issue of campaign activities, a public servant who is also a candidate for elective office may not solicit a political contribution from another public servant, except as a part of a mass communication to the general public. Government must ensure that it implements a fair process when conducting the people's business. Public servants cannot practice favoritism toward family members or those who have something to offer the public servant personally. A public servant may not solicit or accept anything of value in exchange for the performance of any official act. This is bribery. Neither can a public servant give or promise to give anything to any person in exchange for nomination, appointment, support, or election to any office or employment. In addition, the law prohibits nepotism or any act that favors a relative, particularly in employment and contract decisions. Under this provision, a public servant may not make, participate in making, or influence an employment or contract action involving a relative. A public servant may also not supervise another public servant who is a relative. As public servants, we must be mindful of the city's governing framework and administrative protocols, or chain of command, when conducting city business. The city divides the duties and responsibilities of government among the city's elected and appointed officials. The City Council sets policy, passes a budget, and provides direction through city ordinances and resolutions. The Office of the City Administrator maintains control over the administrative operations of the city. Members of the City Council may not give orders, coerce, or influence city administrative staff under the jurisdiction of the city administrator. If you are an employee and you feel that an elected official has improperly directed or interfered with the performance of your job duties, you should contact your supervisor. If you have questions or would like advice or assistance in how to speak up or proceed, please call the Public Ethics Commission. Public servants receive and possess information that could potentially serve as an advantage to persons seeking to do business with the city. A public servant may not disclose confidential information acquired in the course of your official duties for financial gain, personal advantage, or private interest. This is true even after you leave public service. The Government Ethics Act imposes additional rules on public servants as they leave public service to work for companies doing business with Oakland. While working for the city, a public servant may not make or influence a governmental decision affecting a person or organization with whom the public servant is negotiating or has entered into an agreement concerning future employment. Upon leaving public office or employment, you may not work for another person or entity that entered into a contract with the city or you personally and substantially participated in the awarding of the contract within the preceding year. The law also prohibits a public servant from acting as a paid lobbyist or representative for any person or organization for the purpose of influencing his or her former agency on any administrative or legislative action for a period of 1 year after leaving city service. Under this prohibition, a city council member or council aide is not allowed to lobby any city board, department, agency, employee, or representative of the city for a period of 1 year after leaving public service. These revolving door provisions are complex, so we encourage you to contact the Commission if you need advice about your future employment restrictions.
Hi, I'm Jelani Killings, staff to the Public Ethics Commission. For more information about the Government Ethics Act and our Commission services, please visit our website at oaklandnet.com/PEC or email us at ethicscommission@oaklandnet.com. You can also call us directly at 510-238-3593 or visit our office on the first floor of City Hall. Let us know how we can help you build public trust.